This is On Point with Miss Britt, bringing you week 6 college football recap. What an exciting week for football, college football. We got some changes to the AP top 25. So let's get into it. So we got a new number 1, Georgia, which is questionable. I don't care what y'all say, because we already know who the most complete team is right now. But you know what? I don't care about the rankings. As long as that end result ends in a playoff spot, I ain't tripping. But the world knows Georgia ain't no number 1, especially with struggling for the last 2 weeks. All right, let's get into it. And I said what I said. Let's get into it. All right, so we got the new number 1, Georgia. They faced Auburn for week 6. Georgia's QB, Stetson Bennett, he rushed 64 yards for a touchdown on the first play of the fourth quarter. Then we had Dewan Edwards, he rushed for 3 touchdowns. Stetson Bennett was 22 for 32, 208 yards. They ended up beating Auburn, well, not just beating, but basically stomping all over them, 42-10. But I mean, that's not shocking. Auburn, they've been looking sorry. All right, the new number 2. The Ohio State University, OSU Buckeyes versus Michigan State. So the Buckeyes are still missing Jackson Smith and Jigma, and then Mayan Williams was out this game. CJ Stroud, he threw for 6 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison Jr., he had 3 touchdowns with 131 yards. Travion Henderson, he rushed for 118 yards and a touchdown before suffering a right leg injury, and he had to go out in the third quarter. Egbuka, he had 143 yards and a touchdown. And CJ Stroud, he was 21 for 26, 361 yards, and had an interception, which it wasn't his fault. Egbuka kind of ran the wrong route. He didn't turn around in time, but whatever. And CJ Stroud is our Big Ten Player of the Week. Let's get going. Let's get to it. Let's go. Ended up beating Michigan State 49-20. And this week is a bye week, so Buckeye fans, y'all can relax and just enjoy the weekend. No need to stress, and we will be back against Iowa the following week. All right. Now our new number 3 is Alabama. They played Texas A&M. They narrowly escaped an upset. Bryce Young was out with a shoulder injury, and backup Jalen Milroe, he stepped in. Alabama's QB Milroe, he threw for 3 touchdowns. Alabama's defense, they got 2 late stops to avoid the upset after surviving 4 turnovers and 2 missed field goals. Texas A&M's QB also was injured. Max Johnson, and the backup Haynes King, he stepped in. Haynes King, he was 25 for 46, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Milroe ended the game 12-19, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He rushed for 83 yards. The score ended up being Alabama beating Texas A&M 24-20. Next week they do play Tennessee, which will be a huge test. And we'll see if Bryce Young will be back. Not sure yet. Waiting on to find out that answer. All right, your new number 4 was Clemson, and they faced Boston College. Clemson's QB, DJ Uiagalelei, he threw for 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, and rushed for 69 yards. The Tigers scored touchdowns on back-to-back drives to turn a 3-3 game into a runaway by the half. The defense kept Boston College out of the end zone. Clemson's Bo Collins, he had a 10-yard touchdown pass, and Joseph Nagata, he had a 38-yard touchdown pass. And the score ended up being 31-3. So, they balled out. Michigan is now number 5. They played Indiana. I just want to start off by saying prayers to the running back coach, Mike Hart. He collapsed on the sideline during the first quarter. So praying for a speedy recovery. Never like to see nothing like that happen. So prayers to him and his families. They did say that when they were carrying off, he gave a thumbs up. So I just pray that he has a speedy recovery. Now on to the game. The score was tied 10-10 at halftime. Cornelius Johnson had a 29-yard touchdown that gave Michigan a lead in the early third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Luke Schoonmaker and Cornelius Johnson both caught touchdown passes to seal the victory. Michigan's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, he had his first 300-yard game. He was 28 for 36, had 3 touchdowns and an interception. And next up, they got Penn State, which will be another big test for them. So this week, catch that game. I believe that's a noon game. All right, number 6, Tennessee versus number 25, LSU. Oh, by the way, that Michigan score was 31-10 if I didn't say that. All right, number 6, Tennessee versus number 25, LSU. Tennessee's quarterback, Hendon Hooker, he passed for 2 touchdowns. Jabari Small rushed for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tennessee's Jalen Hyatt, he caught a 45-yard touchdown pass and a 14-yard touchdown pass. LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels, he was sacked 5 times. So Tennessee ended up winning the game 40-13. Tennessee's QB, Hendon Hooker, was 17 for 27, 239 yards. So we had a couple of upsets. I guess you could say these were upsets. Number 18, UCLA beat number 11, Utah, 42-32. South Carolina beat number 13, Kentucky, 24-14. Notre Dame beat number 16, BYU, 28-20. Arizona State beat number 21, Washington, 45-38. And then I just wanted to put out there, Oklahoma should be ashamed of themselves. And this is not an upset. Oklahoma stinks this year. This is their 3rd straight loss. And then Texas beat them 49-0. Like, y'all couldn't score not 1 point. Really? It was a bad game. I actually watched it. Like, I watched its entirety. It's a bad game, and no, I will not be recapping it because that's how bad it was. All right, and then besides football, I just wanted to remind everybody and put it out there because, like, I got to represent for my ladies. Clarissa Shields fights Savannah Marshall this Saturday. The fight actually got postponed, so now because of they're fighting in London, and the weekend they were supposed to fight, the queen passed away, so they had to reschedule. So that fight, the middleweight fight between Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall, this Saturday, October 15th. You can watch it on ESPN, ESPN Plus, Sky Sports. The undercards start at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the main event around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out. Go support our women. And that is all the updates I have for week 6. And I'm ready for week 7. And yes, I will still be doing a recap for week 7 because it's football, even though the Buckeyes aren't playing, because I'm still watching football regardless. And with that being said, I'm out.